Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Getting ready to head over the hill out to Dayton. Wanted to pop in and talk about all this damn division we're seeing across the nation. What a year 2020 has been. Man, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd go through Facebook all the way back to the end of 2019 and pull up all the stuff that everybody was like, man, I can't wait till 2020 gets here. 19 has been such a shit show or whatever. And then, god damn, look at what 2020 brought. Now, what I want to talk about is how divided we are. You know, we are the United States of America. United being the key word. And somewhere along the way, we've lost that. There's always been some division here, there, wherever, over the years. But, you know, in election years, it really pops up and rears its ugly head. But god damn, this year, it's really, really bad. And you look through and, you know, you look at the division over politics really since... Well, it's always been in politics, but since Trump announced he was running, you had people that were posing in pictures with him, holding checks that he donated to, you know, whatever cause, and people of color chilling, surrounded around him, and taking pictures and this and that. And then once he announced he was going to run, all kinds of, immediately, you know, he's a racist, he's this, he's that, more and more division. Whatever. But everybody's been so polarized. People hate presidents all the time. It's always, you know, there's some kind of polarization around that. When your guy or gal doesn't win and people get angry, whatever. It happened during Obama era, and there was some hate as well. There always is. But we've seen so much stuff in 2020 that we've like, what the fuck moments in 2020. And, you know, when Nancy Pelosi ripped up the speech, okay, early on this year, right? So while he's addressing the nation, State of the Nation, or whatever it was, and she ripping up the speech in the background, whatever. It is what it is, but just the amount of polarization and division amongst the country. It used to be, oh, damn, your guy, I was going to say or gal, but really we haven't had a female president yet, and some will say, oh, that's part of the problem, and whatever. I want the right person for a job. Black, white, gay, Hispanic, freaking... whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't even care. You know, we're a nation of God or whatever. I don't even care what religion they are. I don't care about any of that shit. I want the right person for the job. But we used to be able to go through an election, and there'd be some ugly shit that happens all the time. There always is. Humans are ugly. Breaking news. But you know, we'd go back to life, and then 4 years later, there'd be another vote, and, you know, whatever. It turned over. Every 4 to 8 years, there's a turnover, and there wasn't all this polarization and hate from both sides. I'm not picking sides right now, you guys. I am not. That's not what I'm doing. I know I started out with the Trump example, but that's the example that we're living in currently. So all this polarization, all of this, you know, division makes us weaker. Us being the people, not those higher ups, not the fucking Democrats or the fucking Republicans in power, the president. Not that it doesn't weaken their stance. It weakens us, we the people. It weakens our stance. You know, we need to be able to converse amongst each other and either agree to disagree or change each other's minds, whatever. You know, often you're not going to change somebody's mind. You might get somebody to view something differently and go, okay, well, at least I can understand your viewpoint, but that's gone. And that sucks that that's gone. What the fuck? You know, we all sit on our phones, which in my opinion are the real virus. That's the real fucking thing that's killing humanity and our freedoms. I don't mean because news is at the tip of your hands and anybody can share this and that, but it's bullshit. That's what I mean. A lot of it is bullshit. I was listening to a podcast of Joe Rogan. Brandy sent it to me, and his guest, I forget the guy's name. Anyway, the guest was talking about how he saw this video. Somebody sent him this video on Twitter, and it was a black gentleman saying, "Look, man, this has got to stop. These white people aren't going to stand for this. They're going to rise up." And it was this clip, and it was, you're looking at it, and it was put in the context of the riots or whatever. And he couldn't figure out how to share it, so he went on YouTube to look for it, and then he found it, and he's watching it, and he's listening to it, and it was only 40 seconds long. 40 seconds, that's it. Now, I don't know how long the original one that was sent to him was, but it was shorter than that, I'm assuming. But in this 40 seconds, he was like, okay, so he can share it now. And he's listening to the guy, and then the guy's like, Obama is, his policies are not gonna fly. So the guy was talking about Obama the whole time, and it was years ago when Obama was in office. But that's what we're up against. By we, I mean we the people, not Democrats, not Republicans, not we the people. All of us are up against this propaganda that we put out our own selves. See it? It's striking. It's in the moment, it creates emotion or whatever, and we fucking share it in the context that it comes across our page. And then it turns out when you look at the full clip or whatever, it's completely out of context. It could be the complete opposite thing. And that's part of the problem. It's a huge part of the problem. Social media, everybody's got a friend. I do it too. I'm guilty of this too. I'm not blaming anybody. I've done it too. I still do it sometimes, and then correct myself if I come across whatever. I've gotten better at checking things before I share them. But most people don't even go fact check or whatever. Now, don't get me started on fact checks, okay? A lot of people want to put Snopes or what's the other fucking one? Fact check. Whatever it is, I don't know. Hillary Clinton was spouting it during the 26th election every time. .org, whatever the hell it is. But you look at these things, and even their own fact check sometimes will say, well, partly false. Okay. Well, partly true is also in that statement, but that's not how it's written. It's written partly false. And then you can even click on the thing. I put an example up the other day, and you can click on the fact check, whatever it is, and read the fact check, and sometimes it will say literally the same exact thing, or it'll be partly false because there have been no studies up until that point. This was my example the other day that said, yes, this is what's happening. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means there's no studies out there, and it'll say that in the fact check. There are no studies that say da-da-da. So a huge part of this fucking problem that we're dealing with is social media. And I'm not talking about the media companies, fake news and all that. That absolutely exists, and that's not on one side either. That's on both sides. This two-party system is shit. But there's bias on both sides. It's very hard to find objective news. But we, you, me, our friends are sharing drivel across the internet, presenting it as fact. And that's fucked up. I'm not saying it's all bullshit. What I'm saying is it's so easy to create more division when you share something that you present as fact and somebody else sees it and they present that as fact, and it just goes out all over, and it creates this more polarization, more separation amongst us, the people of the United States of America. The division is incredible. If you look at this year, early on, starting with the virus, and so we will start off with the we need a vaccine. No, we don't need a vaccine. You got the, there's anti-vaxxers, and then there's people that are just like, well, wait a minute, I'm not real comfortable with that vaccine, but I will vaccinate my child for this. It's safe. It's been around for this long or whatever. So, but everybody gets lumped into an anti-vaxxer or a vaxxer, right? When there's so much more gray area in the middle. There are all kinds of studies that you can find for both sides of the argument. And then there's, actual evidence out there of people being damaged by vaccines, and then there's actual evidence of people being helped. Whole, civilizations being helped by vaccines, right? So there's an argument on both sides, and then there's a lot of gray area. There are some people that are a little hesitant of certain types, but they will use other ones, and this and that, but they get lumped into one side, all right? So that happened early on in 2020. Then, the virus. So you have people, calling it a China virus, where it came from. And then there's people like, that's racist, because you said it came from China, or you called it a Wuhan virus, or whatever. Okay, we've called viruses we've named them based on their point of origin forever. When you look at SARS, South Asian Respiratory Syndrome, there's plenty of examples. I'm not going to get my brain stuck on that one, but there's a bunch. Okay, look up any one of them, and then look at what the letters mean, and you will see that we've been naming viruses based on their point of origin forever. Now, that was more division. Now we're in the age of the mask fight. Wear a mask. Masks don't work. Yes, they do. You should wear it, and this and that. And I see some real fucking ridiculous comments on Facebook. And when I say ridiculous comment, what I mean is people attacking. Just put the fucking mask on, stupid. Stuff like that. People literally talking to people. If you were in person, you get hit in the mouth. In most cases. Now, I'm not advocating for hitting somebody in the mouth. In fact, I'm very much think about it before you do it. Think about your actions before you react to something, because that has consequences. That is how I try to live my life now. But there are things being said that would never be said in person to people. So that's more division on that. Take down the statues. They're racist. No, leave the statues up. They're part of the history, whether it's negative history or positive history, whatever. More division amongst the people, right? We all think differently. We've always thought differently. But now, you can't have a difference of opinion. Again, this is more division. The division is what's killing us. And social media, here I am, the irony of me making this video, which I'm going to share on social media, it's crazy. But we need to get out of that screen and into our heads and start using our intellect. All of this division is harming us as a people. And by us, I mean everybody globally. Now, there are some controls in some nations that, you don't have the access that we have here. They control the people, and I'm not advocating for that either. I am an advocate for freedom. However, you don't see all the division. That doesn't mean it's not there. I'm not saying it's not there because I don't know. What I do know is the way we all have this access to social media and the way we use it, and that blame can't be placed on anyone but us, is harming us. It is harming we the people. You, me, and everyone you know. everyone I know. This division is making us weaker. It's tearing us apart. Another example, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. More division. You are not inherently saying different things when you state that. However, people on both sides take offense highly to the opposite slogan or whatever. It's sad. The division is sad. We need to unify. We can disagree and still unify. I think people have forgotten that, you know. We can disagree on certain issues and still respect one another. Anyway, it's just got me really upset, frustrated to watch more and more division. Again, I'm guilty. I'm not blaming people. I'm not blaming others. I'm blaming all of us, me too, because I'm a part of this. You know, I'm guilty of sharing things that was presented one way, and then that might not be the whole story, okay? And I'm also guilty of not listening, okay? Of shutting down because I have an emotional response and I feel differently, so I will tune things out. That's not fair either. That's not, fair or not, I guess that doesn't matter. That's not helpful. That is not promoting unity, right? We need to listen to each other. We can have differing opinions. We can disagree with one another and still have love, kindness, and respect for the other person. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Let's stop the division. I know this little video is not going to stop any division, and it probably started some in the beginning when I was talking about Trump. It's the current environment we live in. He's current president. This is about 2020 and how much worse it is this year than it's ever been. It was like the perfect storm for the perfect division of the people. We've seen it over the years, over and over again, but this year it's just different. So I hope you've watched it long enough to get to my point. The 17 minutes into this video is a lot longer than what I anticipated it to be, but spread love and kindness and listen to one another. That's my message. Listen to each other. We can disagree all day long, and we might disagree even after listening, but maybe, just maybe, we'll gain some respect for that person and why they believe the way that they believe, where they're coming from. Let's get this to be about the people again. Love one another. Peace and love, everyone.